This is the Desert Mist Diffuser. I should have opened these before. I'm using lavender. That was just half a fill, so 1, 2. And frankincense. Come on, you can do it. Okay, pop that inner cap back on and hope that my outlet actually has power, and it does. This diffuser has some really awesome settings on it. So this is a candlelight, and then it actually cycles through like 7 other colors, so it's pretty awesome. I'm kind of digging my setup here too. That picture in the background is my grandpa's house when he was growing up as a kid. So we know we all come from humble beginnings, right? Hey everyone. Is anybody here with me? Shoot me a thumbs up or a nice little, what do they say, a love? Hey, so my name is Sandra. You guys know that because I invited you to come check this out tonight. And every time I do these, I'm always not really sure where I'm going to go with it. So I try to keep a flow, and sometimes I do some text posts and some videos. And today I'm just going to talk to you straight from my heart. This is a topic, a subject that I am extremely passionate about. My journey started with Young Living about 2.5 years ago, and it was not something I was looking for at all. I was in Winnipeg at the time, which is where I am originally from, and one of my kids was sick. He was 6 months at the time, and he was really congested. He had a cold. He couldn't nurse because he was so sick and so stuffy, and I just felt like I was just at my wit's end. I didn't know what I could use. I didn't know what to do for him. And I had a very good girlfriend of mine that we went to nursing school together, so we've known each other for quite a long time. I asked her, I said, what would you use? Like what, I knew she was like really into organic type of lifestyle, and you know, I kind of knew something about oils, but not really a lot. And so I asked her, and I kid you not, like within 15 minutes she showed up at my door with a sample of something, and I was like, okay, what do I do? And she said, put it on his chest and his feet, and set up your humidifier. And that was kind of all she said. So I did it, and within a few seconds, literally within a few seconds, he was cleared up and he could breathe, and I nursed him and he went to sleep. And I was just the whole time thinking like, what is this stuff, right? So funny how things work out is just that weekend, her sister, who ended up enrolling me, was putting on an event with some of her Crossline people, and I went with my mom and my 2 boys at the time, and we learned all about Young Living. We learned all about the oils that are in the starter kit, which I'm going to talk about tonight. And we walked out of there buying our kit. We bought it together because I was staying with her for a short time. Anyways, we bought that kit. We went home. We waited. It came like 3 days later. We dug in. We chugged back those warm Ningxias. Don't drink Ningxia warm. Not a good idea. And I dove in. And I remember after that day, it was like I was just consumed with learning about oils. I just kept uncovering all of these benefits that could help me and could help my kids and could help my parents and my family. And I was just overwhelmed, to say the least, with everything I was taking in. And it was only just a few short days later, after uncovering all these things, as I started to learn about the emotional benefits of essential oils. And I, for years, struggled with pretty severe depression. and anxiety, because they kind of tend to go hand in hand. And I had surrendered myself to that being my life, being kind of snowed on medication and no real options, no real choices given to me. Just take this med, and then when it's not working, just increase the dose. And you know, in hindsight, I think that's a lot of what our medical system is these days. And I'm not knocking it to a huge extent, because it's saving people as well, and it's great as a complement to a natural health lifestyle. However, I think a majority of people were like me and didn't know or don't know that we have choices. And once I started to learn about the benefits for my emotions and my mood, and I started to use them really consistently, and I started to see the benefits, I was hooked. I was like, this is my answer. This is what I've been looking for years. I didn't even know I was looking for it, but it found me. And anyways, my story with my depression is that 4 months later, I was successfully able to come off of those medications. And I had tried many times in the past to come off unsuccessfully, and I was able to. And it wasn't like I struggled to come off. I was using my oils. I was stinking bugs. I was using my oils, and I was fully immersed in changing my lifestyle. And I think it was a combination of things that led me to my success with that. The oils were huge, played a huge role, as well as ditching out some of the toxic chemical products that I was using in my house. So that's kind of my story, how it started. And the rest is kind of, I don't want to say history, because it's full of a lot of real ups and downs. And when I started getting into this business, I actually didn't really intend for it. I just was sharing with people that I knew about my success, and people were asking me, well, how do I get some for myself? And so I showed them how, and eventually it kind of started snowballing. And so here I am today. So I do want to share some information with you about what essential oils are, because some of you may be coming from all sorts of different stages in your journey. You may be completely like I was, and not aware of what oils are and what kind of impact they can have on your body. You may be kind of dabbling a bit with essential oils, or you may already be a member of Young Living and totally embracing the lifestyle. And so I welcome you to share that with me as far as where you're at in your journey. But so essential oils basically are the power of the plant. So they take all the parts of, whether it's a tree or a shrub or a flower, they take all the parts of it and they put it into this machine called a steam distiller. And every single oil, so lavender, peppermint, rosemary, there's so many, right? There's so many. Every single oil has a very, very, very specific temperature, has a very specific pressure, and an amount of time that it has to be distilled for in order for it to have the therapeutic constituents that you want when you're using oils for health benefits. Not all oils are created equal. Some that are on the market are not good quality. Young Living, and I'm going to talk about this in a little while about why you should choose Young Living, but just know that we are above the grade when it comes to standards as far as making our essential oils, because the company was founded by a man nearly 35 years ago, and he started researching natural products and natural remedies because he himself was suffering and he was looking for options, and he found oils, and then he dove in. He just dove in. He traveled the world to find the best botanicals, the purest ground that these plants are growing out of, and he took those and he created and perfected the process of making essential oils. So you can have that trust, like I do, that when you're using Young Living oils, you're using the best quality. You're not using a cheap, adulterated, maybe chemically synthetic products added to it. And as well, we're following the best standards and the highest quality standards. So like I said, I'm going to talk a little bit about that later, but that was kind of in a nutshell why Young Living. So these oils are the power of the plant. Have you ever, take a leaf, for example, and you break it, right? Like a nice, bright, full of life leaf, and you break it, and it's got these little beads of fluid. That's the oil. So every single plant has an immune system. It has a protective defense system that keeps it safe from predators and insects and things like that. And weather as well. So it protects the plant. And so basically what they've done is they take that immune system of the plant and they put it into this beautiful little bottle, and now we can use it for ourselves. And when you start to really think about, whatever your theory of evolution is, I'm not even 100% clear on what mine is, but plants were here before we were. And so everything that we need to heal our bodies and to live and to fight different ailments and to keep ourselves healthy and well, it was here before we were. And so I think what's happened over the last hundreds of years is that we've totally shifted our thinking into modern medicine, and we instantly go to the doctor and we get a pill for it. And as much as that is always a good choice, there is other options, and I think we've just kind of forgotten about them. So essential oils are the power of the plant. In a nutshell, that's what they are. Today what I'm talking about is the oils that come in our premium starter kit. So people sometimes say, well, why do I need a kit? Can't I just get one oil here or one oil there? I just want something for sleep or whatever. And that's fine. So if that's the case with you, there are definitely things that we can suggest, and we can talk about how to tailor what you're kind of looking for. But tonight, what I really want to focus on is the lifestyle of what using essential oils is, and living a non-toxic life is. And essential oils can be a huge contributor to that type of lifestyle. In your premium starter kit, I just want to tell you right off the hop, it's $200. You get 11 oils. They are the most versatile, the most popular, the most user able oils, because they're your staples. They are the ones that like you carry around in your purse because you can use them for so many different things. You also get your choice of diffuser for that $200. You get a few little samples in there as well, and I'm going to talk about the promo that's going on a little bit later, but there is a 12th oil that you get until the end of July. So how do you use essential oils? So I remember when I started, it was a little overwhelming, right? I'm a all-in type of girl. When I feel drawn to something or when I'm into something, I feel like in my mind, I have to know everything. I have to get it all. And so I started learning. And luckily for us, we have this really extensive, amazing, supportive group of people, online and offline, that are here to help you transition your lifestyle. It doesn't have to happen overnight. It didn't happen overnight for me, and it doesn't for most people. Most people, it's a very gradual process. We start with our starter kit, and then we gradually start learning, and we start educating ourselves, and when our eyes start opening so much more wider, and we start gradually chipping away at our life, at our environment, at the things in our house, at the products that we're using, and we start looking for those safe options. And that's where Young Living comes in, because they have addressed so many of those different things that we have in our home, and they provided us with some really amazing, high quality, plant-based products that are safe for you and your family. So how do we use those oils? There is 3 ways to use essential oils in Canada. Well, all over the world there is, sorry. So the first way is to use them aromatically. That's when we breathe them in. Our nose, our sense of smell is it is fascinating when you really start learning about the science and the chemistry of what happens in there. It is pretty cool. But to make it really simple, our nose is a direct route to our brain, right? And specifically the limbic system of our brain, which is responsible for things like mood, emotions, memory, focus, all really important things. I know as a mom of 3 kids, I can definitely on a day-to-day basis use some support for my mood.